Guys, this is Devansh from Entrance Precision. So in this video, we'll talk about how to ace your college interviews. So by now, I expect that most of you guys would have settled in your current college, and at the same time, your seniors would have approached you regarding college orientation, so college society orientation, or many colleges societies would have started their interview process. So basically, interview is nothing but a conversation between you and your senior. So, if you are watching this video for the very first time, do not forget to subscribe us and please follow us on our Instagram handle, which you will find in the description box. So, let's get to the topic. So, as I was saying, interview is nothing but a conversation between you and your senior. So, you don't have to take a lot of stress upon it, and moreover you have to take this process very positively. Even if you are rejected in this process, by taking it positively, I mean that you should work upon your communication skill, your self confidence, and you should think that if this opportunity is provided to you one more time, you will definitely ace it. So basically, interviews are of two type. First is basic interview, in which you are asked about HR questions, which we will talk about shortly. And the second is stress interview. So we'll talk firstly about the basic interview or the HR interview questions. So the tips which I feel that is important for this particular question is, so do not involve your personal life into the answer, like parents' name, parents' profession, etc. So personal details include basically your name, where do you live, your academic stuff, your hobbies, achievements, and strengths and weaknesses. So, and you should not fake, be yourself. Bluffing during the HR interview should be avoided at all cost, because at the end we were also a freshie at some point in time, and we know all the tactics of fake it till you make it. And in strengths, so basically tell me about yourself includes, I will tell you about all the process in chronological order. First, your personal details, then it includes your achievements, your hobbies, then it includes your strengths and weaknesses. So in strengths and weaknesses, you should restrain yourself by just saying that you are an hardworking person, you are self-confident, or some other adjectives which you usually use. Instead of that, you should prove it with necessary examples from your past. For example, if I say I am a team leader, I have to also prove that. How can I say that I am a team leader? What all I have done in my past that proves me that I am a team leader. So that should be included. And the last thing which a person expect, which an interviewer expect, is the weakness. So if you are telling about a weakness, so do not include very harsh weakness. For example, if you say that you have an anger management issues, so it may not go in your way, because anger management is a very harsh weakness and it takes a lot of time to work upon it. So instead of that, you can say you procrastinate a lot, and for that you are working on your skills. You are you are creating your small task, and you are creating a notepad in which you are writing about your day-to-day task. So you have to include how are you improving it. So that completes your answer of tell me about yourself. And the second is, why do you want to work for the society? So this is a sample answer which I can tell, but again, do not copy my answers from net, because we have also done this, and we at the same time know about it. All the interviewers know about what all answers have been copied, and what is an original answer. So do trust me upon it. So sample answer can be this is for giving you an idea about how you should create it. So I feel that my current skill sets and my experience in the XYZ domain, the job requirements this role presented are a perfect match for me, and things like that. You can include your strengths too, to prove that why you are an asset for the society, and how can you improve your strengths, and how can you decrease your weaknesses by being a part of the society. How will it enhance your skill set. You can include this in your answer. Next question is, how would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? So if you are rating yourself 10, you have to tell the reasons why are you thinking that you are a perfect person. And at the same time, if you are rating yourself at 8, so you have to also tell about the weaknesses which you have and your strengths. So you have to take care of both the aspects. And next question which can be asked is, how would you add value in your society, into our society or department? Long term, short term goals. Long-term goals are generally for 10 years and short-term goals are for 5 years. For example, if I talk about my short-term goals, my short-term goals would be, first 3 years I will complete my graduation, and then for 2 years I will be going for post graduation, like for MBA most probably. And for long term it can be any, for example, I want to work for XYZ company, for example Deloitte, or for KPMG, or for any other company. I have to work for, under a particular head. I have to that is my long term goal. Or my long term goal can be to become an entrepreneur, or I could have any kind of long term goal. One could also have a long term goal of like being an IPS, IAS, since or CA, since it does not since it takes a lot of time to clear that particular exam, so you can consider it in long term goals. And at the same time, some society specific questions can be asked. So I want to tell you in advance that do not forget to attend the orientation of college societies. So trust me, I also missed my particular orientation of few societies, and I was not able to justify the point that why was I not there in that particular orientation, and that points out to be a negative for me. So I have to justify that if I am missing that particular orientation, and at the same time, if I am attending that orientation, I will get some points that I can plug in my particular interview, so that I could impress my seniors, so that they take me instead of any other student in that particular department. So, for example, society specific questions can be for photography society, specifics of lenses, and info about various camera specific questions. For dance society, so I want to clearly say that if you are aspiring for a dance society, they require some basic knowledge and skill into this field. They won't teach you from bare minimum. Obviously, they expect that you are knowing some steps, you do know how to dance. They won't teach you how should one go about it, how should one dance. Or in music society, they won't teach you how to sing. You should be knowing a few things in advance, right? So in like for music society, you should be knowing how to sing or how to play a particular instrument. For quizzing society, you will have an quiz in your preliminary round, like for a quiz on current affairs or on predefined topic, which will be told by them in the orientation. For marketing society, again, you should attend the orientation. Some basic questions on marketing. For example, what do you understand by marketing? What all things are included in marketing can be one of the questions which could be asked by the interviewers. And also department specific questions are asked, which again I can't tell you here, since every department has various questions which could be asked by them. So like for example, I'm in ESL sponsorship department, so obviously I will ask some society specific question, and at the same time I will also ask some department specific questions which will be told by me in that particular orientation of ESL. So you should take care of that. So marketing society, some basics of marketing, you can read on Google, you will find a lot of questions on it. And like for finance and investment cell, they expect you are knowing something about investment or something about finance. And why do you want to learn more about finance or investment? How would it add value in your life? like for ESL, basics of entrepreneurship, what do you understand by entrepreneur? So you should have a basic idea. Obviously, we do not expect that you are an entrepreneur. We do not expect that, but you should be knowing some basics of entrepreneurship, like social entrepreneurship, etc. And at the same time, ESL also provides you about an idea about corporates. So ESL is the best society for those students who are either